Chapter 28. Home. We still have to build ourselves a decent home, I observed. A place for our children and grandchildren to live, problem-free. A 2-story brick manor house with a toilet, a bathroom, and a hot water heater. You can do that for any private home these days. I was at a building fairly recently and noticed how a lot of different facilities have been developed for conveniences in private homes. Or are you again going to object that we don't need to use any of these technological gadgets? On the contrary, they are necessary. You need to make everything serve the cause of good as the opportunity presents itself. Besides, it is important that there be a smooth transition in people's habits. Only your grandchildren will not need the kind of home you are building. They will not understand on their own as they grow. They will understand on their own as they grow up. They will need another kind of home. That is why it is not worthwhile spending too much effort to make the house extremely big or solid. Anastasia, I can tell you've got another sly trick up your sleeve. You keep rejecting everything I propose, even the house. You say there's no question, but it should be a decent house. Sorry, I read that wrong. I think there is no question, but that it should be a decent house. You said we would be designing this project together, and here you're thwarting me at every turn, no matter what I say. Of course, we are doing it together, Vladimir. Besides, I am not rejecting anything. I am simply expressing my views, and each one must decide for himself what comes closest to his own taste. You should have told me a little more about your views right off. I don't think anyone's going to understand why this house should not stay the way it is for the grandchildren. The other home will still preserve their love for you and their everlasting memories of you. When your grandchildren grow up, they will understand which materials, out of all the ones thought up on the earth, will be the most pleasant, the most solid and useful for them. Right now, you do not have those kind of materials. Your grandchildren will build a wooden house using those trees which their grandfather planted way back when, and which their father and mother so loved. That home will start curing them. It will keep them from impurities and inspire them to what is bright. The grand energy of love will dwell in that home. Okay, yeah, interesting. A home made of materials, of the trees cultivated by their grandfather, their father and mother. And you say it will help protect those living in this home. How? There's some kind of mysticism involved here. Why would you call the bright energy of love mysticism, Vladimir? Because not everything's clear to me. Here I've been talking about designing a home and a ground lot, and now you've all of a sudden started stating things about love. But why all of a sudden? You have to create everything with love right from the start. What, the living fence too? And you have to plant the saplings in the forest with love too? Of course. The grand energy of love and all the planets in creation will help you lead a full life, a life inherent in a Son of God. Now you've really started talking incomprehensibly, Anastasia. From a house and a garden, you've gone back to God again. What relation could there possibly be here? Forgive me for not being clearer in my explanation, Vladimir. Allow me to try a different route in trying to explain the significance of our project. Go ahead. Turns out it's your project, not ours. It belongs to everybody, Vladimir. Many people will sense it intuitively in their hearts, but man will be prevented from grasping its significant details by fly-by-night dogmas, sounds of the technocratic way of doing things, and the many scientific disciplines that are attempting to lead people away from happiness. All the more reason for you to try putting everything in more specific terms. All right, I shall try. I wish my explanations could be clearer to people. I so wish that they could. O logic of divine aspirations. O logic of divine aspirations, help me choose phrases and word combinations that will be more clearly understood.